insane. This is Ardsley High School, about 25 minutes from the city here. Down to 2 seconds left. Julian McGarvey steals the inbounds pass, just hurls it up for the buzzer beater for the New York State basketball title.
Amazing play. I saw this last night. It was like, my goodness, I can't believe this happened. And the guy has a little history.
Yeah, he's going to be the quarterback at Marist next year, evidently. To win any tournament game.
I'm going to have to send some wide receivers up there.
Man.
I don't know how many wide receivers are going to have at Marist.
To win the state title, then now that team in white, who we don't know who they are, what a gut punch.
Disregard the traveling there at the end.
Yeah, NBA refs were doing the game.
Oh, okay.
Just a few days into March, we got some madness already. Radford hitting the buzzer beater shot to punch their ticket to the big dance. They beat Liberty in the Big South title game. She was stunned.
Oh, all those Liberty fans holding L's until next season. Look at that tie game. Clock winding out. Should I go to the bucket? Nah, let me just dot your eye right here.
Big
March
shot.
Madness.
Bad decision, though. My man right here. I mean, you too skinny, bro. You need to get on Jenna's program there to be lifting your shirt up. Buzzer beat, but keep your shirt on.
And finally, Suns at Hawks. Bad teams. Great highlight, though. Marcus Chris blocking John Collins at the rim.
Oh,
Hawks win this by 1.
That's the block of the year in the NBA.
Collins, he's a rookie, right? Second year?
He's young. I'm
rookie.
not.
Yeah, this will be his low light of his rookie year.
I mean, at the beginning of the highlight, and in fact, up until when he jumps, you're like, oh, it's going to be a great dunk. Marquez Chris, what a block.
Back to the NFL Combine, Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen had scouts oohing and eyeing over his strong arm. One coach said Allen can throw up to 70 miles an hour and up to a 90 yards. CC, is Josh Allen sort of leapt ahead of the other quarterbacks in the draft?
Well, if you look at just pure talent, like what guy looks like the prototype NFL quarterback? He has the size from a height, weight standpoint. He's a very good athlete. Can he throw the football anywhere on the NFL field? Will he have one of the biggest arms in the NFL instantly? Yes, but is he the best thrower of the football compared to who can throw the football the furthest? Those things are very, very different. I believe that Sam Darnold is a better thrower of the football, but yes, if you want to do trick shots, if you want to play horse, this guy right here, he has the best throwing talent. He has the best arm talent of anyone in this year's draft.
Which doesn't mean accuracy.
No, this is watching the combine this weekend. It was funny when you watch the quarterbacks because they say their name, they say their college, and beneath them they try to tell you like their best accolade. So it was Lamar Jackson, 2016 Heisman Trophy winner. It was Baker Mayfield. It either said 3-time Heisman finalist or 2017 Heisman Trophy winner. Sam Darnold, Pac-12 champion. For Josh Allen, it said honorable mention all Mountain West. So he played in a nothing conference, was not the best quarterback in that conference, not the second best quarterback in that conference last year, but the third best. And by the way, I looked at it. He threw for 1,800 yards total. He only missed 2 games, played in 11 games last year, threw for 1,800 yards. The Josh Allen discussion frustrates me because it feels to me, CC, like people decided going into this college football season, Josh Allen's a top prospect. And I got it. Threw for 3,200 yards his second year in Wyoming. Like, okay, we're going to see this progression, keep moving up. And then despite the fact that he was bad, had bad accuracy, had terrible yards per attempt, had terrible total passing yards. The team wasn't very good. Despite all those things, people were like, nope, guy can still throw from the midfield to the crossbar on his knees. Got to be a top prospect. I don't see it with him. I don't understand it with him.
Well, it's easy for me to understand. Any guy that has a big arm is going to have an opportunity to play in the NFL. When you have the type of body, when you have the height, when you have the weight, when you have that arm strength, you are going to get a chance. It's just like a 7-footer in the NBA. They are going to give them chance. Is it fair? Yeah, it's fair because it is a talent-based business. He has great arm talent. He has things that you can't teach. That's the reason why he's at the top of the draft board.
And he doesn't just have a big arm. If you ask John Elway, he'd say, oh, this guy's my prototypical quarterback. The guy that you think, the tall guy, the big arm, you know, the sort of, the big hands. Like, you look at a guy like that and you almost want him to be your successful quarterback in the NFL. hasn't been that way in the last couple of years, which is why there have been so many misses. I say John Elway because the Broncos have 90% of those.
This is the thing. We have a prototype for every position in the NFL except kicker. There is a certain size, there is a certain weight, there is a certain skill level that we expect. With Josh, you can't teach some of the things that he can do. You can't teach those things. So when we talk about the quarterback's the most important. When you have a guy who's a prospect like this, you want to get him on your franchise because we don't know when we're going to see the next Josh Allen, someone who has that. Now, he didn't have the type of final year that you would like to be able to respond to the 3,200 yards that he had the previous season. That was because of injury. That was part of the team that he played on. That's why he was honorable mention. But when you talk about who is a guy at the next level, who has the most talent? He's one of the guys that has the most amount of talent.
CC, a few months ago we were talking about the Patriots, and I said they could, if they, there's a way they could lose even if Tom Brady plays really well. And you said to me, you're like, well, I haven't seen that. Like, I'd like to see that happen. I have not seen a quarterback be bad in college and then become great in the pros. I haven't seen it. I've seen quarterbacks not get to play in college and turn into good quarterbacks in the pros. Matt Castle was that guy. Not that he was good, but he had a good season at least. There are a lot of different stories I've seen of guys turning into successful pro quarterbacks.
Josh wasn't bad in college. He had a half of a bad year. All right? His last year,
the whole thing, I thought, he threw for over 230 yards once. Like, I didn't think it was good all year long.
Look at the attempts. Look at the people around him. Look at the personnel around him. Like, it was not very, very good. When you have the type of arm talent he has, you're going to get drafted high. Forget what his senior year was. We knew before this year's draft. I told you several months ago, this guy potentially was going to, and you looked at me like I was crazy.
No, but that is, what you said there is 100% correct, and that's what's frustrating to me. We knew before this year, so it didn't matter that this year, and you can say look at the talent around him, but the counterpoint to that is look at the talent he's going against. Like, to me, those cancel each other out to a degree.
When you're playing quarterback, and if they can get to your quarterback, and you don't have a running game, you don't have good wide receivers, how are you going to dominate the game?
Go ahead.
We haven't heard. Well, the last couple of weeks, Josh Allen hasn't been the guy at the top of this class. He seemed to be like maybe 3 or 4, or 5, whatever it is, but within that mix. Then all of a sudden you have the Combine, and now there's talk of him at number 1. How much of an influence does the Combine actually have where a team could actually say, you know, we're going to stake our future in this guy as opposed to this guy because of a couple of tangibles?
I don't believe the Combine changed anything. Just because we're talking about stuff does not mean that the priority for the quarterbacks, the order for the quarterbacks have changed. And the reason why I know the Combine didn't change anything, because all the quarterbacks didn't work out. So if all the quarterbacks had worked out and we'd be re-rating the quarterbacks, then we would have a legitimate case. But with Sam Darnold not throwing at the Combine, you're not going to change the order because a guy decides he's a healthy scratch at the Combine is waiting for his pro day.
Josh Allen reminds me of Christian Hackenberg. A guy who, after his first year playing, people were like, this guy could be the #1 pick of the draft. The production wasn't there, but his size was there. His strength was there. His hand size was there. Jets ended up taking him, I think.
I believe Josh has more arm talent than Hackenberg. And I believe he's got more heart than Hackenberg.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, we take a break. Coming up, is it starting to look like Lonzo Ball will live up to the hype? Next on First Things First.